very happy to release the book Bringing Anthropological Applications to Address the Contemporary Issues, written by one of my very close friends, Professor Satyapal, and also my other friend Pedarattaiah Gadde. Of course these people, they have edited this book. And anthropology is such an ancient subject which is really connects so many subjects, as we all of us know. And in fact we need lots of books to come in to the market. So I am very glad that they have brought out this wonderful book. I wish them all the best.
And thank you so much for releasing this book, Bringing Anthropological Applications to Address the Contemporary Issues. The subtitle of this book is Advocating for Anthropological Applications to Improve Human Condition. So, being a civil servant and appointed as the chairman of the Telangana Education Commission, having a great exposure and experimentation in improving the human condition, particularly in education sector, as a civil servant in many other sectors. So, what is your observation that human dimensions of development, when science and technology, you have a rich background within technology, if human dimensions are missing in development, in education, in policy, considering policy, so what do you think what will happen as a result of it?
Yeah, in fact when I was young public servant, I never realized that the importance of the social sciences for the engineers. We thought that at that point of time, we thought that it is so irrelevant. But now, seeing the conditions, the situation and the events and the politics going on in the country, I think because we missed that. So that's the reason why I think now, whatever the negative things we are seeing in the society. So, like for example, even the parents also are the culprits. Because everybody is pushing the children towards engineering and medicine, more these two, more of engineering only. So in fact that forced the universities to close down the social sciences department. So maybe I think I am now, many of us, visualizing that because of that, now there are hardly any number of activists responding to the all these events seeing and happening in the society. So because like earlier, for example, during our student life, for everything we used to respond. So the students used to respond, starting with Usman University. So in many universities, I think people used to respond to these social issues. But now you can't say that. So now hardly, I think few people like Professor Haragopal here and Professor Kamasinha and Professor Ramaman Kote, very few people are, I think, left out. So maybe we don't know what happens in future because such people are not, now we are missing them. Don't know how any human the society would evolve. Don't know. There's a very big.
Human dimensions, I mean, these character competencies, if particularly in the character formation and virtue education, if this the cultural determinants of the formation of character and mature citizens, respectful and responsible citizens, if this dimension is missing in education, and already universities are producing smart criminals, because there is no intentional inculcation of this kind of education. So, being the most responsible position, what is your plan, sir? Is to bridge this gap and gulf.
Yeah, I think I should advocate opening of these subjects. And in fact, now NEP is also talking the same language. So maybe I think now we should ask the technical education curriculum experts to include these things as per NEP in their curriculum. So that could be kind of one of the immediate interventions required. So because engineers have to be they should become like a good human beings. Technocrats is one part, but the social responsibility towards society is, everybody has to play that actually. But now, if you see the engineers, they are very, very pure, like pure technical guys they are now. They are missing some human angle. So that is because of lack of this. So maybe I think, I don't know what's happening in abroad, especially in West, but probably I think in Indian context, I think this is very much required now. So maybe I think in the, like when the students are not mature, they have some lessons in social sciences or maybe in languages. They have some this kind of little bit small lessons are there, but at the point of time they are not mature enough to observe. So maybe I think we need to introduce these topics maybe in +2 or maybe in graduation, maybe in technical studies. I don't know what is happening to medicine. There also is required, very much required actually. So because day in and day out they deal with human beings through like their patients. So I don't know what part of that interaction between their patients and them. I don't know what is happening in that front. I think somebody has to do some research. So because of missing of this kind of subjects in their curriculum, we don't know what part of thing they are missing.
Particularly some disciplines are there, social sciences, if they don't bring the applied social sciences, if the social wisdom, if it is not applied to social issues and economic problems or cultural obstacles in the process of developing them, so that applied aspects is missing. So then again, I see students and children are left as a moral orphans. They have to figure out their own values because there is no intentional inculcation or facilitation of that formation of that area, virtue formation, character education. So if applied social sciences are not there, if intentional facilitation of character education, competency acquisition is not there, so who is responsible for this kind of troubling educational gaps, and how to be fixed these things?
It's a very difficult question to answer. Because when you say who is responsible, so but definitely like the educationists, so the professors, the curriculum designers, so they are responsible.
The vice chancellors.
So maybe now vice chancellors have become like their administrators. So no, parents, I don't know, parents in India,
they should be partners.
because parents cannot visualize the curriculums. That's the problem. Actually, it's just impossible for them. So maybe I think they go with market. So they go with the international market and try to push their children. That's it. So they never think of other things. So maybe that responsibility lies on professors. So maybe I think, like in fact, professors also now working in kind of isolation. So they are in like silos. So they also don't have that kind of collective thought process, that collective thinking on framing the actual education as such. So education means what? Say for example, for civil engineering, the education is that they think that it is like construction of the dams, construction of the roads. But that is like in a small part of education. So now the professors should think of giving holistic education.
Exactly.
Which includes their own subject, fine. But I think the education should be at least at graduation level, post-graduation level, the education should be holistic. So that is missing. That I think the experts of education, educationists, I think they are not thinking on these lines somehow. And unfortunately, the champions are missing. We don't have champions of education. So we have champions of subjects, but we don't have champions of education as the
holistic education.
So that is I think we're missing.
So yeah, thank you, sir. I agree. One more question. Only one question. I agree with you that the different disciplines, they are presenting the sectarian view of human life. For example, economics brings transaction related this thing, and physics and different subjects. But holistic education you are talking about. So anthropology as a discipline studies the human nature, biologically and culturally and socially and comparatively and holistically in time and space and past and present. And based on these insights, it will predict the future emerging problems or issues. So holistic approach of education, anthropology, it's humans studying themselves, their own cultures, and when they come across with other cultures, they understand the differences. So in the face of a cultural pluralistic society, emerging urban centers, culturally pluralistic societies are emerging in this kind of thing. So tolerance and respect for others and civilized behavior and responsible these things. So if interdisciplinary and a transdisciplinary approach to education and to addressing the issues, humans to improve the human condition. That's what anthropology contributes actually. And the tragedy is that anthropology is not recognized in the policy corridors and academic circles, and anthropology is missing in the face of university campuses, and students are not given the opportunity to study because it is not offered. Particularly in Telangana, there is no single university that offers except Central University. So, so what is your response?
Maybe I think you are now trying to push me to open an anthropology department in our university. When you said I never thought this actually. That's true that I don't know how the so-called very big university like Usmania they missed this. So even subsequently, I think the other universities like Pedarattaiah probably think they should have thought of this actually, but somehow they missed it actually. But now, in the whole society, especially in the education arena, the missing thing is promoting value system. From pre-primary education up to university, I think in no way these curriculums, nothing actually. There's nothing. The other day I went to SCRT and I sat there and I just asked my people to just identify what are those lessons around values. They gave me some 14-15 lessons from first class to 10th class. But not even a single lesson impressed me, and not in a single lesson I appreciate or I agree that it is really promoting values.
See, the pattern situation
is really pathetic to be frank. And I don't know what kind of, because the problem is in India, it is more of like our culture, our religion, our like content of the religion. It is dominating
the curriculum.
Curriculums. So that's how I see. So sometimes, like for example, I don't know in what context they have written something, but our people love to take sometimes very irrelevant thing to push under the kind of system of values. What our teachers are thinking that it is a kind of value, but people like me, people like you, for people like common people, I'm not able to see that there is a value, that lesson promotes values. So that is totally missing. So when I try to talk to our teachers, because they are not exposed, number one, they are exposed to only these things.
Mm-hmm.
So within this they are searching, but they are not going beyond this. So for that simple thing to understand, I will just share with you, is like a value like sharing. So that I think our people cannot understand. Because sharing means whatever I have to share with my colleague, I have to share with my neighbor, I have to share with my classmate, I have to share with my peer. So that we cannot imagine. So that is not automatically happening in the society. So maybe I think very rare people, like rare parents, they are promoting, but not the system promoting. So this kind of situation is there. I don't know, because our the kind of like all the education is they're not thinking what are the best systems promoting values are available in the other countries, in other societies. So they're not able to even endorse or appreciate the values associated with other societies.
Exactly. In each culture, there are set of values which are
Exactly.
universally acceptable.
Exactly.
That
In
is
every
the-
religion, these things are there.
Yes.
Actually.
Exactly.
So, but somehow other people, so there are, maybe some other religions also could be, that's possible.
Mm.
But I think it is because they are talking about our society. So our people are unable to, because if you see English medium textbook and Telugu medium textbook, the definition of the values, because these are borrowed. So
Westernized.
Westernized. But for example, there you find sharing, you find caring. So, but in this, something else is there. Not this basics of caring and sharing. So that's where I think we are unable to so appreciate these things. So that is one of the reasons I strongly feel that it is we are able to see all this nonsense happening in our society. We can attribute to the basics.
Yeah. Because they are not facilitated.
They are not facilitated.